external world, for not giving us the information the way we need. When what we really have to do is we have to remove the layers within ourselves to uncover the teachers that were already there. It's just we didn't notice them. And because of our limited or low level of self-esteem or self-confidence, we did not recognize them as our true teachers. Now, I'm saying this because this theme and the contents within this book help you realize certain things about how reality works. And it's a model for reality, and everybody sees reality different, but you're interested in getting into a high level of success. So you have attracted this particular type of philosophy, which again is a philosophy that had spawned a large different groups of sub niches in the personal development industry. You can look at a lot of different concepts and different exercises and things that people do in the personal development industry. And you might say you want something. You might say you want to achieve a certain level of success, but maybe you don't really want it. Maybe you just think you want it because you see others want it and you think that that's going to make you happy. Well, when you start to remove these layers, you start to really figure out your self-image. You start to really see yourself. Now, the truth is that people are always revealing to you where you are. Anytime you get angry at somebody, anytime you look down upon somebody, anytime you think that somebody has done you wrong, the knee-jerk reaction is to blame the other person, is to say it's their fault. The higher, more evolved, realized thing to do, if you're on this journey, and you're at that level of understanding, is to look to see where you're doing that same thing that they're doing, that you're not aware of, and then systematically work on removing that thing out of your life to stop doing it also. Anything that you don't like about a person, you're doing yourself. And if you want to improve your self-image, which is going to create the results that you want, which is going to attract people into your life, which is going to clarify your intent, you're going to attract the right teachers, you're going to attract specifically what you say you want consciously, then you have to remove these layers and you have to come to peace and understand that the external world is a projection of your internal state. And you need to stop fighting the external. You need to say that the external is revealing to you where you need to work on. First step is to conduct an accurate inventory and analysis and contents of your self-image. You act and feel not according to what things are really like, but according to the image your mind holds of what they are like. So in other words, nothing in life has any meaning until you give it meaning. You can look at the same situation or the same circumstance, and you could give that same circumstance to 4 or 5 different people. And all of them are going to interpret it differently. Now, provided if they had the same kind of experiences in life, they might have similarities. But if they grew up in totally different environments, had totally different upbringings, had totally different stimulus, different self-images of themselves, then whatever that circumstance, they're going to interpret it different. Failure, for example, is interpreted totally different by the successful entrepreneur than the entrepreneur that never tends to get their business in a place of success. Failure in sales is interpreted a lot different by the successful salesperson than the salesperson who never makes quota. The successful salesperson might see failure as optimization data. They might see it as objective data. They don't see it as something that makes them reality rather than things they represent. One of the best ways to look at the external world, the people around you, your circumstances, is as a mirror revealing to you what you are projecting outwards. A lot of times when we have disputes with people, we like to blame them. We don't take responsibility. We fail to realize that we created that situation. And when we're always blaming people, we are not looking to see how we are doing that same thing that they're doing in a various shape or form in different areas of our lives. People are always revealing to us about ourselves. Therefore, everybody in front of you who does you right and does you wrong is...
Alright, folks, no long intro. Yeah, so I was long, but seeing this fair value gap, bearish fair value gap, is concerning. So that's why I took one contract inside of it, because price could actually use it to go lower. It'll be criminal for it not to take these relative equal highs. And if it doesn't and it trades lower throughout the lunch hour, then that probably means they're layering liquidity and saving that up for the PM session. But um, I think I should really get this. I mean, it's right there. There's no reason not to get it. I did point out this is an exercise I got from Michael last night in his Twitter space. It's a frame out. All right, so I think we can get it. It's a frame out the 15-minute highs and lows and pick a target and just get in there and see if you can do it. Ideally, it was supposed to be tape reading, but for me, the experience of actually getting in and pressing the buttons and managing the trades is more valuable and it helps me more. So that's why I'm pushing the button, but you don't actually have to do that. You can just read price, which is essentially what I'm doing right now and just journaling it all. So this is a 5-handle move from this fair value gap to up here. That's 5 handles, and now we have this 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute relative equal highs. It is right there. Now I can actually move my stop a bit closer. Don't want to jam it too much, but so we'll give this a bit of time. I do feel tempted to move my take profit higher, but I'll leave it because I really think we can get this. So I'll pause the video and come back in a few minutes, like always, and see what happens. And I did want to point out, guys, that if price trades into this old fair value gap in here, I'd like to see it use it as support to ultimately trade higher. So right now it traded on top of it, but I'd like to see it go inside of there, maybe a tick or two, and then go higher. That may not be necessary, but let's see. As you can see, there's CPI tomorrow. I shouldn't really even be trading right now. I was in a business meeting with my partner, and I wasn't able to get in the markets at 10 a.m. like ICT mentioned. The exercise was supposed to be done. So I'm doing it way later, and this is lunch hour. You don't really want to be trading right now. But stops are at break even, and I'm getting the pseudo experience because it's really important for me. So working on my trade management. Take a look. I was also in this. This is the same markets, the same trade, the same bias. So I went long in here inside this fair value gap. And I closed all of these already. I had to take profit on these. That was the micro contracts. So I'm still expecting higher prices any minute now. It's ranging, consolidating a little bit, which is actually good when you're that close to your target. If you see it ranging, usually that's a good sign, at least for me in the way I understand price.
As is so commonly believed, but because of imagination. This is why you'll see athletes and their coaches work together with visualization exercises. The athletes are told to visualize themselves performing at a high level on game day. Professional speakers do this also. They visualize themselves addressing the audience before they do. They visualize the audience receiving them really well. What this does is it creates a certain connection in the nervous system where it doesn't know, where your subconscious doesn't know if that's real or not. All your subconscious knows is that's how you perform. You perform optimally. And that optimal performance that is imagined vividly through the imagination is accepted as fact by the subconscious. Most of us in this world have negative self-talk. And negative self-talk is actually one of the best opportunities to reorganize, to readjust, to recreate our self-image. Refrain from negativity, gossip, talking bad about others, and instead look at others as your teacher. They're revealing to you about yourself, revealing to you where you're doing these things that you might be angry at them about.
All right, finally got it. Very slow market right now, which is understandable because of the lunch hour. So, did want to point out, let's remove all this. See a small fair value gap in here. Down close candle, nice big move. Had a fair value gap in here again, traded to it about 3 times, and that's where I actually went long in the micro. So I went long in this move here. So right inside of this, let's see. So at 39.61, 75, 60, so 39.61.75. It's right in here. I went long, and I like this sort of move actually. That's one of the things when the markets are ranging and you're that close to your profit target. It usually range and then you get it. That's one of those things I've noticed throughout the years. So I didn't take any trades earlier. I mean, I was really busy. Had to get that done and stuff. But I just checked my phone. I wasn't even able to keep up with ICT's Twitter. He didn't post much today. He actually told us not to trade. But this is just an exercise for me. At least that's the excuse I'm using. So he said, take a rectangle box, 1048 high, and drag it across. And you guys already know what this is. This is a breaker. And I didn't actually see this when I was setting up this trade idea. I just saw a sell side was taken. So we had a stop hunt in here. And that's really all I was using this. But had I seen this breaker, I would have been a lot more confident. So we had the breaker. Got sell side liquidity taken. Displacement, fair value gap. Order block in here. Another fair value gap. And then I just scaled out of the trade. And we had relative equal highs in here. And in here. So another trade execution, another day. And I did want to mention to the crypto queen, I'm not sure why your chart won't let you use this, like to drag your profit target and your stop loss. But I think if you hover, you should be able to see stop loss and take profit. If you don't see it, I'm not sure why. You can go to settings and try to adjust these, but I've never had that issue, so I'm not sure. And if anyone knows how to fix that, you can actually type it in the comment section below, but I'm not sure. You should be able to get this once you hover on top of the limit. So let me know if you do, because this is very useful. I mean, real easy to use. That's why I don't use MT4, because you can't really do that with MT4 as easily. So bread and butter setup. I mean, I can't wait to trade live in the next few weeks. So 1%, didn't risk much. So let's do this. Reset. Well, I think I'm actually gonna leave it. I'll leave it for the rest of the month and see how I perform. I think that's okay. So I'll leave the account balance and summary. So at the end of the month, we'll take a look at it together and see all the trades I've taken, and you can actually download the data, I believe. So summary, you can export the data to see how well you did. So I think I'll do that instead of keep deleting them every day. All right, guys, this was a fun one. Quick, boring, but every week, every day, and this thing don't stop. This is ICT's Monsters Inc. And it's a good year. So hope you guys learn a thing or two from this.